Hi, everyone. Welcome to Soul Lightwork. My name is Sue Ann Dayton, and I do have a few other videos out there, but I'm going to make a commitment, not only to you, but to myself, and hope for the best that I can share with you what I've learned about the deconditioning process thus far. I'm coming up on 3 years of the 7-year process of human design. For those that know about human design, some of what I'm going to talk about today won't be that new. For those of you that don't know that much about human design, you might find it interesting, as I did when I first heard about it. So I'm going to start off with the types. Now, on my learning journey, I've learned to stick with where I found the most authentic information, which was directly from Ra Uru Hu, and I watched a lot of his YouTubes. In addition, I did discover the International Human Design School with Lyndon Blunell, who did the authentic Ra approved and worked with her on doing the human design book. I lovingly call it my Bible. Even though there's 88,000 prints of different Bibles, this was the human design one that I always go to. And why? Because it is the most authentic that I found coming from the originator. With the aura types, there are 4. There are not 5. I've already heard some misunderstandings in regard to that. Now, a generator is a generator is a generator because we all have sacral motors, and that's what makes us the generators. 70% of the population are generators. Now, I am a subtype of the generators. I'm a manifesting generator. Doesn't make me a manifestor. It doesn't make me a different type. I am a generator. I do have the capability. My channel happens to be from my motor to my mouth, the 3420. So I can kind of just get up and do things. I can also skip steps, a little bit of in a hurry to get things done in the now, but pure generators are more step by step by step. And our auras, because this is the 4 types, is our auras are the same. We're open, we're enveloping. A lot of people that are not generators will feel the rush of our energy when we come in, and we build the world. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Where I used to joke that actually we were the slaves, and we still can be slaves to this day because we have that energy, and other people want to tap into that energy that we have and use our energy. But through human design, we know what responds for us, not for somebody else, and not to be the mule of somebody else. The next type in human design is 20%. And this is a relatively new situation, evidently, to the 9-centered being that we are now, not 7 chakras of the Indian tradition, but there's 9 centers. And they are called projectors. They're 20% now. And the projectors are different. The next 3 types are different. They don't have the motor that replenishes when they go to sleep at night. They don't. But they do enjoy our energy. And the projectors have come in to guide us, the generators. They're going to make incredible guides for the future. They've been around for a while, and unfortunately, a lot of them have burnt out because in this culture, we're all raised to be manifestors, right? If you can think it, you can go do it, you can get it done. Well, that's old. We're now to do what we're meant to do and not be other people's slaves, as I mentioned earlier. So the projectors can, their aura is more of a probing type. They can go in and sample you and read you, and they do better one-on-one. They can really focus. It's a focus penetrating energy that they emit. And I've had the honor of being, now that I'm cognizant of projectors, of being in their presence. And it is, they tune into you completely. And their guiding abilities is to see those qualities within you. And by offering suggestions, they can transform you, they can mutate you if you respond to what they're offering up. Now, their types, we are waiting to respond. That's our strategy. My authority happens to be purely sacral. We can get into more types of authorities later on within the generators because there's emotional and there's splenic and there's other types that bring out your authority. But mine is sacral, so I'm here to respond. With the projectors, they're here to be recognized, and they actually have to wait to be invited. And they're so eager to be recognized. And as young people, not knowing that that's what these people are, is that they'll raise their hand in classroom and somebody else would be called, and they truly just want to be seen. And uh, once they become who they know they are as projectors, they're gonna get more into that. But again, to be invited, they have to wait to be invited, not just to jump right in and here I am, because wait for the right person to invite you too. That's the other key there. Moving on to the manifestors, which are fewer in nature now, 10% currently, 9 to 10% roughly. They are here to inform. They too do not have motors. They do have the ability to talk, but due to their channel, either through splenic or emotional, but they don't have a defined sacral, which is that on rejuvenating motor. But they do have signatures. The signature that you'll see in a manifestor denotes they get angry. And really, once they know they're here to inform, that allows it to be less resistance rather than just they're capable of just going and doing and being. But they do need to inform those around them. And by doing so, that's a correct way. There will be less resistance to what they're informing people of, because really they just want a sense of peace. My signature as a generator, this downside is frustration. If something's, it's just now because I'm a manifesting generator, I can feel angry, but majority of time it's frustration. And I don't seek out peace as a result of my anger, but I do have a deep sense of satisfaction. That's when I'm in myself. So when I'm feeling frustrated, I know I'm not being correct. So these are keynotes for people to remind themselves of who they are as their types. In projectors, that keynote would be bitterness. If they're not recognized, they can get really bitter about why. But really, they want success and they will get it. They will get it with the recognition that will come through the correct channels. Lastly, but not least, are reflectors. And here is the most unique of all the four types. There's a story that goes along with the reflector. If you look at your charts or if you look at human design, you see in these body graphs that there's areas that have color in them and areas of these 9 centers that don't have color in them, or maybe all of them are colored, making nothing better or worse than another person, because we're all unique and individual. That's what's so fabulous. Nobody is the same. Nobody, not one person is the same, because there's multiple layers. A reflector absolutely has no color at all in the chart. Now, it doesn't mean anything's not happening. No, there's a lot happening there. Their aura type is more, the word has been used, Teflon coating. They don't absorb. They don't absorb that energy around them. It kind of reflects off of them back to you. So the old adage, which is for those that were unaware, in the early days of the United States and coal mining situations, even though that took place in other countries, uh, they brought with them the aspect of the story of the canary in the coal mine. In the old days, there wasn't proper ventilation, so they would put a little canary in a cage and they would take it in them. The canary died, you get out, because there's not going to be enough oxygen for you. So what the reflectors represent as being the canary in the coal mine for all of us as humanity, because they're all over the world, is that they reflect to us back how we're doing as humanity, as a culture, as, you know. So they're key for them. They're different in making their decisions, they don't have to wait to respond. They don't have to go through that, but they do have a process. And their process takes longer. Because they don't have that motor and all that, they actually have to track their chart through the changing of the moon, which can take about 28 and a half days before they make any major decisions. Major, because every day it's going to change. So if they start out tracking what their question is, a major decision, that by the end of 28.5 days, they should have clarity on it. It's very interesting and unique. They do have the gates and the channel abilities. They have some hanging gates. And as you progress in human design knowledge, when it's hooking one gate to another gate, that's what defines an area. The biggest message of all these aura types is not if you're defined or undefined, but what does that bring you if you're one or the other in different areas of your chart? And that's going to be addressed at another time. But realize that it's truly the undefined areas that is the most heavily conditioned, is what was discovered. and that creates a term called the not self. Now, even though you're defined, you can still have a little bit of not self or incorrect assorting stories about yourself, but less so. The definition in your chart, which is the colored areas, more address a definite way of being and acting and doing and who you are, identity. Whereas the undefined, and I have a very, uh, quite a few undefined areas. So this is just a taste. The deconditioning process is 7 years, but already in 3 years, there's been a tremendous change and growth. So I encourage you to, next time that you tune in, I'm now asking you to hit like and subscribe, and let's bring on a community. I have a lot of collective, a lot of individual, some tribal in my makeup. We all have aspects of all of that in our designs. So I am definitely here for the community and take you on a ride, a journey with me through my continued process of deconditioning, because that's where it starts. And once you realize the benefits of decision making and less resistance in your life, even these baby steps I've already achieved have led to less resistance. We're all greeting Pluto in Aquarius on the 19th of November. The age of Aquarius, it's here. I waited my whole life and it's here. And we've all chosen to be now. We're all going to be different within 20 years. Raw did have some predictions about 2027 coming up. There are going to be some profound changes within humanity. Now, some people are going to instantly feel fear when I say that. That's not the reason I'm telling you about it. We were given this knowledge and these tools for better, correct decision making. And that's what's going to be needed in the future, to be more authentic, to be more making the correct decisions for yourself, not what society is telling you, not what your family's told you, not what your friends are going to tell you, but what do you say to yourself? What's your authentic self telling you? Because if you go by your authority as strategy, and people get very frustrated hearing this during their deconditioning because the mind takes over. And in human design, we learn the mind is not in charge. So again, thank you for attending today. And I look forward to your comments, be they positive or challenging. Let's do it. Make a comment. I look forward to it. Till our next time. Wow. Love yourself.